Let's do it. It's the New Movement Live. DJ Drewski in the building. Now, I get a little bit excited, right, when Jersey artists pull up. Like 1% more excited because it just gives me pride and, like, hope when I hear a Jersey artist that makes good music. I go, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? So we got Passaic in the building.
Yes, sir.
Now, it's Kiamo,
Kiamo, yeah.
which we were about to get into. I said, yo, that's your government name? He said, nah, my real name is this. But we ain't got to tell him. But where'd that name come from? What does that mean?
It comes from my grandfather. My grandfather's name was Kiamo. They called him Kiamo in the neighborhood. And what he stood for, like, he was real powerful, impactful man that made sure a lot of families had Christmas. And he was real powerful in the community he's from.
Right.
And also other places, you know what I mean? And real connected. So I wanted to keep the name alive, you know what I mean, for people that didn't know my grandfather. Right. And stuff like that. So, you know, kept it in the family.
Was Grandpa around when you started making music?
Nah, he passed away when I was 5.
Oh, so you were super young.
Yeah, but the stories I still hear, you know what I mean, from dudes all over. Like, my family well respected where we're from. You know? So it's just keeping the legacy alive, you know. So I try to do the same things, try to do more just to make them proud, you know what I'm saying? So just the legacy continues, so hopefully my daughter could do the same thing.
Right, and we're going to talk about, like you said, how your grandpa gave back to the community. You have a community event coming up we'll talk about in a few.
Yeah.
But at what age did you start making music?
At the age of 15, I started recording and stuff like that. And I put out my own project at 16. That was my first project. I put out mixtapes, and then from there we was just putting on mixtapes. Connected with my man Poe that lived across the street. And I was 18, and he told me, yo, I said, yo, I don't know too much about this music, but you've been in the game. He was cool with Cam and stuff like that. So,
right.
So I was just like, yo, he didn't take me serious because he knew I was playing sports and everything. But he said, make a mixtape and I'll mess with you. You know what I mean? We'll get things rolling. So then I gave him a mixtape in 1 week. I gave him a mixtape.
From the time he told you?
From that time he told me. That's
1 week later.
I gave him a mixtape.
How many records on the?
It was about 7.
7 records.
7 records. And I was just in the booth. I used all my graduation money people gave me. And I was in the booth and I was just locked in. And then, you know, we was working with other people. But then we said, you know what? They're taking forever to send back the music. I invested in my own studio. And I started learning how to, you know, edit. And then eventually grew to start shooting my own music videos. And then eventually I got my man's Quentin Films that shoot for me now.
Right.
And I said, he was playing football and he didn't know what to do, like after football and everything. I said, yo, why don't you just, you know, pick up a camera? You know what I mean? And so I started just building this whole thing independently.
You mentioned that to me earlier, like, yo, I produced this whole project on my own.
Yeah, I produced this whole project. I basically went to the different studios to just show people, document it instead of me recording it in my crib.
Right.
Because that's what I usually do, and I'll only do the features. I'll go locking in the studio with other artists because you don't want everybody in your spot. You know what I mean?
For this project, what made you say, yo, not only we gonna put the music out, but we're gonna put a documentary out before it even drops?
Yeah.
Like, what was that? Is that something you always do? Or is this new?
Because I knew this time would come. I knew at 16 where I wasn't going out partying with all my friends. I was locked in.
Right.
They would try to get me, yo, come outside, do this. I'm like, nah, because at a certain age, y'all gonna need to catch up, and I'm gonna be where I'm at, helping everybody else.
Right.
And that's where I'm at now. So like, I even influenced a lot of my friends to start clothing lines. You know what I mean? And a lot of my friends will battle depression. I said, yo, do something that you could stick to, and it'll inspire you to get up and do right by. You know what I mean?
But I feel like sometimes people just need some motivation, right?
Yeah.
And it don't matter what position we're in or anyone's in to give that motivation. But, you know, where we come from, it's hard to, like, follow your dreams and do stuff that you believe in. And I'm sure being from, you born and raised in Passaic?
Born and raised.
So you see how hard it is just to get out of there.
Yeah.
Like, what is your goal now? Now, you know, now that you're making music, you sitting, you rubbing shoulders with the right people. I feel like you got, like, your strategy together, which a lot of artists don't have.
Yeah.
So what's the main goal for you as an artist right now?
Well, it's gonna be to inspire other artists, not just where I'm from, but everywhere across the board, where, you know, if you believe in your craft, you stick to it, you stay disciplined, you find ways to be different from everybody else.
Right.
Whether it's how you deliver your music, how you create your music, you know. So that's important for artists to also understand and really, really, like, have passion behind the things and find ways without rap stay irrelevant.
And you saying do it because you actually enjoy it and you love
enjoy
it.
That's anything you do. Enjoy what you do because you have so much passion to put behind getting better at your craft.
Right.
You know?
Which, no, I'm glad you said that because listening to your records, the first thing I told you, I said, yo, it just sounds refreshing. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure you could go in there and do a drill record. You could do a trap record, but you do what you know you're good at and you do what you enjoy. And that's like making real solid music. Was your sound ever different than it is on this project? Do you feel like you've grown or this was always you?
As an artist, I always felt like I've grown after every project, and everybody always says that.
Right.
And like, I got drill records. I got different kind of records. You know what I mean? My team tell you that. We have like over 100 unreleased records. For real, for real. Like, I got endless records that we could play, and like, it's just crazy.
Right.
You know, so it was just really putting together great albums and great projects and, you know, quality over quantity. You understand?
Right, right.
So my main goal was always to drop an album that was gonna either inspire the people or give you a feeling that you're not the only one going through it.
Right. So something that people can relate to.
Absolutely.
Now, where we're from, if you sitting in an interview with DJ Drewski, if Wala's playing your music on the radio, they say you're Hollywood, which brings me to the last record that you recorded on the project.
Absolutely.
It's called Say I'm Hollywood.
Say I'm Hollywood, yeah.
What, like you said, you heard the beat and said, "Hold on, we're gonna stop everything. This got to get on.
This got to get
project.
on. This got to get on the project." Plus, you know, I recorded my album before X passed away in Rough Rider Studio. So just that energy.
Yeah,
period,
just being in there.
Just period, like, and that was one of my favorite joints. Shout out to Dragon. You know what I mean? Those was one of my favorite joints from Rough Rider. You know what I mean? As a kid, you know, I used to go to different motorcycle events, so listening to that song and just the tempo and everything just get you hyped. You know what I mean?
So you felt like I gotta bring this type of energy.
Yeah. And plus,
to this project.
Absolutely.
And the timing is good. Like, I hate to say good, right? RP X, but like you said, even at Summer Jam, when Swizz comes out and the Locks come out and Rough Rider, like, that energy is still alive years later.
Busta Rhymes, M.O.P., Remy, Fat Joe, like, you feel that, you know what I mean?
Right.
Even the Osley Brothers, like, I grew up listening to that too, so that was an ill moment right there. And like, it's just like, even with my beat selection, it's like from different generations to, you know, from the sample, be like, oh, I remember that when we were growing up. But the kids are hip to it because it got a little bounce to it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's dope. You know, I got everybody involved.
Who were you listening to as a young kid growing up that influenced you?
Well, I always say, like, in 03, you know, 50 Cent was, like, real inspiring.
That was the man for you.
Absolutely, you know. Then you had Wayne, and, of course, you know, I had to really go through things and to, like, understand certain words to really understand Nas.
Right.
And Nas just, you know, different from whole business manner. And I also told people back in 2014, 2015, that I was listening to Nipsey. A lot of people.
You said that in the record too, right?
Yeah. You know what I mean?
I caught that.
So like, listening to Nipsey was like, I always told the lady, I had an interview one time, the lady said, who would you love to meet? And I said Nipsey Hussle. She was shocked. She was like, why not Jay-Z? And I said, it's just the information he could offer you. You could just, I could just sit in a room all day and talk to you. The amount of game I can come out the studio with is just amazing. I don't need to record a record. And type of friendship that I could always go back and like ask for advice. And, you know, I know he'll be the type of dude that always give opportunities. So I feel like if I could do the same thing with my power.
So when Nip passed, even if, you know, you weren't connected with him, did you feel like a loss?
You felt that because if you was a fan of him, you really understand his movement and how his movement came up. You know what I mean? And that's one of the reasons why I became independent, because how he was selling his mixtapes, you know, the whole 9 documentary in his hood. You know what I mean? Giving back to his community, being an influencer in his community. So that's the only thing, you know, we ever try to do. You know what I mean? And then where I'm from, we never really had a, you know, somebody that really made it out, you know? So that's why I'm so disciplined and with my craft, and I tend to not go out and not really get into trouble, you know? I pray for all my friends that do, you know what I mean?
Right.
Just pray they keep making the right decisions, but they keep me away from it because they know I'm valuable.
Of course, I mean? They say, yo, you don't need to be parts of none of this.
None of this, because they know that.
You got a gift.
Absolutely, and they know that it's not even just a gift. It's a gift that you're going to help out the kids. And then they're going to be the next generation.
Right.
And then they're going to help the next generation. You know what I mean? Just like New York, like, I always say New York, like even with Harlem, like you have from Big Al, then you have Cam, then you have Dipset, then
Right.
it goes on to the other artists. Like I even fucks with Neek Bucks, you know what I mean? Dope
Shout out to
MC,
Neek.
you know what I mean? So it just grows from there, you know, and that's the same thing energy I'm trying to bring from where I'm from, because we don't really have that.
Right, and I agree. You always need somebody to lead that operation in a sense, right? You need somebody like yourself from whatever town you from, hood you from, to really be a leader and show the kids and the youth in the future, like, yo, there is something positive that could come out of here.
Absolutely.
But speaking of kids, congratulations. You were a fairly new father, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You got a 1-year-old.
Uh-huh.
Do you feel like your life, not just as your personal life, but as an artist, changed when that change in your life happened,
It
right?
grew me better as an artist.
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody say, oh, I was a beast. Now I feel like, you know, more as like, I can't mess up.
Right.
I can't mess up, because if I mess up one time, I lose everything.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely the music I do, like I can't mess up. Like it has to be on point, it has to be sharp, you know. And having my daughter, she made me mentally prepared for everything.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And I'm sure it gave you more motivation than you already had.
Yeah.
Like, yo, I got someone to work for now.
Yeah.
It ain't about me. It ain't about the wife.
But even before then, when I started doing music and I started winning contests, and before my daughter was born,
Mm-hmm.
it was never about me.
Right.
It was always about the kids in my community. That a lot of people started rapping when they saw me rap. And a lot of people that stopped rapping started rapping again when they started seeing me on, you know, I got a chance to perform on Source magazine for Source Unsigned Hype. You know what I mean? And they saw that, and the people was like, yo, I want to get back rapping. You inspired me. Not on hating, but on some love. Like, yo, you got me back. You know what I mean?
Do you feel like, I don't mean to cut you off, but I know Jersey, right? Did you feel like those opportunities, even though it was a lot of love, did you feel hate too? Did you ever feel like that? Because I don't get that type of vibe from you. I don't see how someone could hate on you. Your music is not even like hateful music. It doesn't attract that type of energy. But as an artist, because I'm sure artists watch the interviews and checking what you're doing, like, did you feel like at any time people was low key like, oh, he ain't the nothing, like, why he got that?
You know, you have certain people that don't know you,
Mm-hmm.
and then when they get to know you, it's just shocking. Because they, like, I could sit in a room full of people that think they rap,
Right.
and I won't mention I rap. And then when the whole time, everybody the ones that do know, like, yo, he the illest one in this room, so I gotta humble down. You know what I mean? But I never come across like I rap or nothing like that. You know what I mean? So I never really try to pay attention to it. Like you hear a lot of slick comments sometimes, once in a blue, but it's really from people you really know.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Only because in the documentary you mentioned something like, it was something about like New York already does it, and Jersey. I forgot what
I was
context
talking. I was talking about, like, as in, like, you know, how I brought up like Harlem,
right?
And how you have different foundations of artists.
Got it.
So that's what I meant as Jersey. Like, we have certain artists that do, you know, get the opportunity, but they don't continue working where the artists they're from.
Right.
Not saying that you gotta put on every artist.
Of course, yeah,
but like, let's say you creating a big album, right? And let's say you got somebody like Jadakiss on your album, right? On a song. And let's say you got a dope singer. Yo, put the singer where you from on that record.
With Kiss on it.
With Kiss on it, because it's not just going to be the record for you, but you're also inspiring somebody else.
Right.
So that's giving somebody else an opportunity. So let's say that singer blow be whoever she going to be. She's going to, at the day, you're the foundation of her career going somewhere. You know what I mean? And that'll make you look 10 times big. To me, that make you look 10 times bigger.
I agree.
You know what I mean? So
no,
that's
I
how
agree.
I take.
I'm with all that.
You know what I
I
mean?
love that type of energy. Because you have a couple features on your project.
Yeah.
How'd you go about choosing those people? Because I know one is like family.
Yeah, I got my man Malk on it. I got my man Marcus Troy on it. I got Ivory on it. I got this girl named Rachel from Cincinnati on it.
She's the one in the documentary?
She's one. No, that's Ivory.
Oh, that's Ivory. Okay.
Yeah. I got Rachel. I got I'm not trying to forget nobody's name. You know what I mean? But those are the ones on the tip of my head.
Right.
You know what I mean? But yeah, I got some dope MCs, and a lot of them I grew knowing as artists. Like, I see them doing their thing. And, you know, we follow each other, and then we, you know, I just take the thing and say, oh, let me hit you up. Let's try to work on a record. And I always wait for the right record. I don't try to just jump everybody on. Let's just do a record. Let's just do a record. Let's go in the studio. Like, I want the right record, because when we can go back 5 years from now, like, oh, we made that happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's just not just any record.
So most of the features on there, you have a personal relationship with those people already.
Absolutely. Like on my last album, I had a record with Rackboy Cam.
Okay.
And on Notorious.
He's from Patterson though, right?
Yeah.
Rackboy Cam from Patterson.
Yeah.
Passaic, you're kind of like neighbors.
Absolutely. And shout out to Cam because he booked me for my first show in Passaic. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He booked. He's not even from my city. He was hosting a party and he booked me. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's powerful right there. But I had a record with him from 2016. And I held on to that record until 2020.
Oh, you never put it out?
Never put it out until I found I had another artist I worked with, Stay Winning, and I put him on the hook.
Got it.
And you know what I mean? So I hold on to records and have records with ton of artists where I'm from.
So you're not rushing the music?
Nah, I drop an album every year, but some way, somehow, I still got momentum. I said that on one of my songs on my album. You know what I mean? Drop an album every year, still hold momentum.
Well, this album got, what, 12 records on it?
12 records, yeah.
So are we getting some videos to these records?
Absolutely.
What's the vibe?
We start showing videos to the album in September. And we also giving fans an opportunity from where we're going to let fans choose their favorite song. And we want to give fans an opportunity to really co-direct.
That's
so if you have a passion for something, if directing or whatever, a vision,
right?
You know, we're giving fans an opportunity to co-direct with my camera guy, Quinn Films. You know what I mean? And we see if you like your vision, we like your vision, and even if we work on something that make the vision come to life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's super dope. Just get people involved in it.
Absolutely.
Let them feel a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
And you listen, there's some very creative people that just be low key that you don't know, and they could get involved and cook up something crazy.
Yeah.
Not a title, La Cosa Nostra. Were you watching a movie and you're like, yo, that's what I'm naming the project? Like how did that come about?
I saw it on a sweater. Did I see it on a sweater? No, I was watching a movie. I saw this thing of ours on a sweater.
Oh, okay.
And then, because La Cosa Nostra means this thing of ours.
Got it.
Now, when I was watching, like hearing La Cosa Nostra, like I was hearing it in movies, I was always seeing the title, and I really dug deep and like, what does this mean? You know what I mean? Then I seen it, this thing of ours. It stuck to me because it's not just my story I'm telling all our stories.
Right.
You know what I mean? The kids where I'm from, my friends' stories, you know, the people I'm close with, you know what I mean? So it's all of our stories. So that's why it means this thing of ours, and it's powerful, it's impactful. You know what I mean? Like I had a guy that hit me up, grown man, hit me up and said, yo, going into your album, like I caught goosebumps.
No,
you know what I mean?
Yo, the first record you played, I said, okay, this is different. I'm gonna enjoy this personally, right?
Yeah.
Not as a DJ that's playing for people. Personally, I can enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I think if you're a fan of music, you instantly, you know what I'm saying, get that same type of feeling once you hear your music. So La Cosa Nostra's out now. Go run it up. How can they?
It's on all streaming platforms. We also got hard physical copies of the album, and it comes with a sticker. And you can also, once you touch the sticker, it's a barcode. You scan it, and then it takes you directly to the documentary of the album, where you can watch the process of the album, and also I have all the streaming sites for this album.
So go run that up, and before we get out of here, let's tell them about the Give Back. It goes down Saturday, August 28th. That's this weekend.
Yeah, this weekend.
And Passaic.
Yep. My man Jahad, you know what I mean, gonna be one of the barbers, and my team and I are giving away school supplies and again free haircuts all through the community of Passaic. We got Boys and Girls Club involved and everything. You know what I mean?
Your grandfather would be so proud that you're doing this. Shout out to Grandpa. The Give Back. Listen, go support. Go run the album up. Anything else that we're missing? Because I feel like you got some more stuff going on.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
It's a lot, man, and it's more than just an hour interview to really talk about it. You know what I mean? But if I had something to say, it'd be like, you know, stay disciplined, stay with your craft, love what you do, don't give up. You know what I mean? Even when you feel like the world is at your feet, you know what I mean? And you feel like you can't take anything else going on, you know what I mean? Just have a passion for what you're doing, love what you do, and continue your growth.
Have you been in that place at any time in your life where you said, yo, I'm over this music shit, I'm out?
I wanted to quit at 2018, and that's when I went by the name Soda American Dream. But I didn't understand that, you know, the process I was really going through. It's not that I thought I ain't have nothing left, but but I had to really analyze my situation and understand that I'm outgrowing myself.
Mm.
So that's why I changed my name from Soda American Dream to Kiamo. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm not that 16-year-old kid anymore.
It's a new person.
It's a new me. You can see how the way I handled situations, how I handled interviews from when I was Soda American Dream to now. How I honestly controlled anything that's in my hands, anything that's in the room, how I control the situation. And that comes from, you know, I always tell people you could be good at everything but master nothing.
Facts.
You know what I mean? So while you at it, learn how to master something.
Well, listen, that's called growth, and we are excited to, see everything you got coming, see more growth. Tell them your IG before we get up out of here.
Twitter, Instagram, Kiamo World, website, Kiamo World. You can purchase the hard physical copies, and we're going to have merchandise coming soon, but we also got a documentary out. We just did a campaign for Sneaker Studio, so shout out to them. And we're growing, corner of the world, Lord Entertainment, La Cosa Nostra.
There it is. DJ Drewski, the new movement. We out. Bow.